Welcome to Hiking Homestead. Today's topic, should you get a blue heeler? So this is our blue heeler Cash, or I guess rather would this dog be the best for your homestead? But anyways, come here, you big lug. Say hey, Cash. Hey, buddy. All right, so let's dig in, guys. I want to go over a few pros and a few cons. So how about we do 5 of each, 5 pros, 5 cons, okay? So we'll go through the pros, and he's going to hang out right here in the chair beside me. We'll do a dual interview, won't we, buddy? Huh? But anyways, let's go through our 5 pros first, okay? 1 is they are loving and loyal dogs. They are super protective and loyal to their family, and they usually pick one person in their family that they're the most loyal to. And so for him, it's me. And basically, he follows me around everywhere, even in the house. If I get up to leave one room and go to the next room, if I go to the kitchen, he follows me in the kitchen. But it's not just so he can beg for food. If I go to the bedroom, he follows me in the bedroom. So wherever you go, he basically follows you there. So they are super loving animals. As soon as I get home from work, he's actually like howling and just going bonkers. I can hear him as soon as my car pulls up. He's just like dying to see me. And as soon as I pull up, we're kind of working and teaching not to jump. But he basically just kind of runs in circles and it's like we're up, like just bumps up against my leg and just wants to be petted and wants affection. And so they're kind of a Velcro dog, if you will. They're very clingy. They love their owners. So they're very loyal, loving dogs. I mean, he's an extremely loving dog. Second thing is they are hard herders, and this could be good and bad. You don't want to keep them with some of your livestock. You don't want to keep them directly with your chickens. So we have a yard space around our cabin that's fenced in, and that's his space. And he's not kept with the chickens, with the goats all the time. If the chickens get in the yard, he'll run them out. But if you're not there and he jumps on the chicken, he's not going to let go of it until you come get the chicken from him. So he will kill a chicken. They do have that little bit of predatory instinct. If you know anything about this breed, they're bred from a herding dog that was brought to Australia. They really are from Australia. They're called the Blue Heeler or the Australian Cattle Dog or the Queensland Heeler if you want to sound fancy. But they were brought. They brought a herding dog from England, like it's very similar to a border collie type dog from England to Australia, and they bred it with the dingo, which is the wild dogs of Australia. So the wild dog where I'm at is Cody's. So if you bred a border collie and Cody, that's kind of the personality that you would get with the Blue Heeler. So they are a little bit stubborn, predatory. They're going to kill small animals. It's just what they do. It's kind of like if you had a baby wolf or Cody again, or a fox or something like that as a pet. So with that being said, they fit a niche that border collies can't fit. Okay, so border collies are good at herding sheep. They'll kind of round the sheep up, move the sheep across the field, but not many people I know actually have sheep. A lot of people have cows or goats. Okay. Cows are huge animals, and they will kick border collies away. Border collies are a little too timid to go after them, but the Blue Heeler, I guess it's the dingo blood in it, will really press into those cows' heels and nip those heels and drive the cattle to where they need to go. And the goats is the same way. When we milk our goats and we're trying to get them back into the pasture, sometimes they'll break free and try to go for the garden, and that's when we let the dog out of his crate. And we keep him crated just kind of when we're milking and also at night. So it's not like he lives in the crate very often, but he's kind of hanging out with us all day. But we'll put him in the crate while we're milking so he won't pester the goats. But if they're real stubborn to go back in the pasture after we're done milking them, we can let him out of the crate. And they'll come after him, and they'll try their best to butt him. And he'll back up, and he'll come back at him again. So they're just more stubborn dogs than most of the breeds. So they're a little bit better at herding certain things, being cows and goats, and kind of chickens too, because after a chicken gets mauled by them once, the chickens don't get in our yard anymore. We had a problem with the chickens getting in our yard and pooping in our yard and pooping on our deck, and just they were jumping over the fence, and getting in our yard, and we just didn't really like that. So the dog kind of keeps the chickens on the pasture where they're supposed to be and out of our yard. But anyway, so number 2 is they're great herders. Number 3, hence the name of the channel, Hiking Homesteading. We love to hike too. And he is a great hiker. If we're on a trail where I know no other dogs are at, I'll take him off his leash. Now, he is super friendly with other dogs. Okay, I've heard mixed reviews now with blue heelers. Some of them say that they're mean to their dogs. Ours has been very friendly, and I think the key thing is socializing them at an early age. But if we're but the thing is, he's going to get in another dog's face, and other dogs may not be friendly. So anytime you're hiking, no matter if you have a friendly dog or not, you should always keep your dog on a leash. But if we pull up to a hiking trail and we're the only car on that trail, and I know there's only one entry on that trail, and I know we're the only ones on that trail, I'll let him off his leash, and he won't get very far from me. He always stays within an eyesight to me, and he comes back to me when I call him most of the time. But anyways, I don't have to worry about him running away. He won't. The second we kind of get away from him a little bit, he is howling. If we get up on a rock that he can't get to, he just goes bonkers. He howls. He circles the rock. He wants to get up to where we're at. So they are such a clingy dog. They will stay right with you. So if you ever go hiking somewhere remote where you don't have to worry as much about keeping them on a leash, they will stay right with you when you hike. On the leash, he stays right by my side. He doesn't pull on the leash. I know hound dogs are prone to pulling because they want to go. We used to have a Weimaraner on her before. Rest in peace, Lucy. She'll be 14 years old. But anyways, she would always was prone to pulling on a leash, and he doesn't. He kind of stays right at my side, keeps a lot of slack in the leash. They can do long-range hikes. They can go a long ways. They have a crazy amount of endurance. They're also a smaller dog, so if you go backpacking overnight, they don't need a ton of food. They tend to weigh between 30 and 50 pounds, and the more pounds of weight, mass your dog has on it, the more food that you got to pack, or you can put in their pack and make them carry it. Either way, they're just kind of a good, but they don't need a lot of tent space. That's another thing. Because they're smaller dogs, they don't need a lot of tent space when you go on backpacking trips. And so they're great feet warmers. They're perfect size dog for me. You can pick them up and hold them and carry them around. They're not that big, but they're also not so small that they're just like defenseless against predators. Like they've got just enough size to really be a good indoor-outdoor dog, in my opinion. Fourth thing, prove to them, is their intelligence. They are top 10 on intelligence on a lot of charts. They are wicked smart. They pick up tricks really quickly. They can do all kinds of tricks. They're known for being used as show dogs, agility dogs, trick dogs, all that stuff. And then the fifth thing is they are great guardians. They are great protectors. He has never attacked or bit anyone. He's very friendly with strangers when they come over to our house or when he meets people on the trail. But we socialize him a lot. So he's around a lot of different dogs, a lot of different people. Some other ones are a little bit more wary of strangers. But he always barks when people pull up. So he always lets us know that people are there. And they are definitely very loyal. So I think if somebody was trying to harm us and he knew that, he would be much more protective and more prone, to being a little more aggressive against that. But for the most part, anytime we have strangers over, he's super friendly. He's never growled or bitten anyone, but he always barks when people pull up. A couple other things that I think are kind of pros, but they could be either way, is his size. I don't really like a ginormous dog, especially they tend to not have good endurance. They tend to die early. They tend to have health problems. So he's just the right size of dog. These tend to range full grown. They tend to be about 30 pounds, maybe upwards of 50, but they're not huge dogs. Second thing is their hair. They are a short hair dog, so you're not going to have loads of hair all over your house like you would a Border Collie or a Great Pyrenees. But they do have a double coat, so they still do shed quite a bit. They blow their coat about twice a year, and they do shed quite a bit those times of the year. But because they have double coat, even though they're short-haired, they can get dense enough fur that they're comfortable outside in the wintertime in most climates. So that's just another pro tip. That's that dingo nature in them. They can grow a good winter coat if they need to. So some cons to them. Let's go over some of those. One is they are stubborn. They can be a little difficult to train. They have a stubborn nature, which helps them to be a hard-herding dog that can herd stubborn livestock and also be protective. but they are stubborn. And to give you an idea, I've heard of people saying that they would tree a bear. They're so hardy, but because of that stubbornness, they can be a little hard to train. If they get their mindset on something, they're going to keep doing it. And like for us, it's taken us a while to teach them not to jump up on us and stuff. And if there's food around that you don't want him to get into when you're not looking, he's going to get into it. So anyways, that they are a little bit stubborn. Second thing, they have a lot of energy and they got to be kept busy. If you don't entertain them, they'll entertain themselves and they will turn and be destructive. So you've got to be aware of that. They need daily exercise and they need daily attention. And if you have to leave them for an hour or two, crate them because they will destroy something in that hour or two that you were gone. So my wife's home all the time, so she's able to spend time with them. But anytime we leave the house for a little bit as a family, we do need to crate them. Third thing, they like to dig. Again, it's one of those things, they will be destructive if you give them a chance. So he's mostly an inside dog, but he goes outside to help us with farm chores, to help us herd. But we don't leave him outside for a long time unsupervised because he will dig and tear your yard up. And they're super stubborn about that. Number 4, they can be a little weary of strangers and other dogs, even when you socialize them. He's been great so far. He hasn't bothered any other dogs or people. But they are known to be a one-person dog or one family dog. They're not an everybody's friend dog like you might get if you get a golden retriever. Okay, so just kind of keep that in mind. They are not just an everybody dog. Okay, and that can have pros and cons to it. Okay. 5 is that they can be a little nippy. They take a while to break that habit. They like to chew stuff. They like to bite. They're not mean. He nips. They're bad a little bit to herd kids and nip at kids. He's done that to ours. We had to work with him on that. He's never really hurt them, really broken the skin. When I say nip, he just kind of mouths them. It's not aggressively. It's just the way he plays. But they do take a long time to break that nippiness with people. He still likes to gnaw and chew on stuff quite a bit. So just kind of something to keep in mind. So again, your pros, they're loving and loyal. They're great herders. They are great hikers. They are intelligent. They're great guardians. And throw a couple other ones in there. I like their size and I like their coat of fur because they can be good outside dogs in the winter at times because they get a thick coat, but they're still a short-haired dog. So that you don't get huge clumps of hair and knots. You don't have to calm them and groom them like crazy. Some cons to them is they are stubborn. They got to be kept busy or they get destructive. And again, that destructive thing, they like to dig. They can be very cautious of strangers and cautious of other dogs. And they can be a little bit nippy with kids and stuff. So you got to keep those things in mind. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Come here, Cash is telling bye. Here's Cashy Boy. He's been hanging out with me all evening. He's a good doggy. And again, like, subscribe to our videos, hiking, homesteading, hit the notification bell, comment. Let us know other things you'd like to see or questions you guys have about blue heelers or anything else. We've got videos on goats, rabbits, chickens, and a lot of hiking videos. So again, follow us, and thanks for tuning in, guys.